This is the marketplace. We're continuing coverage of the fire outbreak at Makola, the central business district of Accra, where the Hong Kong market is currently on fire. The story building, as you can see on your screen, which houses shops of several traders at the central business district of Accra, has been on fire for the past 3 hours now. Of course, we did hear from our man on the ground, Mano Krantin, who helped us understand the fact that fire tenders have been deployed to the place. Fire tenders, of course, the Ghana National Fire Service initially having issues regarding fire hydrants, where, of course, it turned out to be that there wasn't the availability of water, which hampered the process of dousing the flames. We shall go there currently as we also assess the business angle to all that is playing out at the central business district of Accra. Matters regarding insurance, have these shops been insured? Matters regarding the high speed of market fires in the first quarter of this year, the first half actually of this year, and the very first we're seeing this afternoon in the second half of this year. We're going to be having the business twist to this, but also the mayor of Accra has also been speaking. Let's listen into what exactly he's been stating regarding the update.
Collectively, but I'm very sure, sir, we will investigate Yahoo National Ambulance Force. I can see, sir, there's a very coordinated effort in fighting this fire. Even the military came to support this firefighting. There's that coordinated effort. I have indicated to you about the low pressure of the water, and then the wind also blowing, and then the inflammable materials. And one, problem. Okay, right.
Honorable, just briefly, you've mentioned that the hydrants here have really low amounts of water. This is not the first time we're seeing a fire outbreak within the central business district. I mean, one would have thought that the knowledge of the low pressures and so on would have, prepared us better for this, no?
What I mean by low pressure doesn't mean that it's low. It has been low pressure for all this while. I mean, occasionally, it's Ghana Water that controls water. So occasionally, some of these things may happen as a result of being so that could be the low pressure. But if there is low pressure in the central business district, there's water also at the Circle, and then high pressure at Alaju, and that's why they are fetching the water and bringing it over here. Indeed, there's even a fire. There's a water hydrant also in the mall. So we have enough hydrants to get access to water. It's just that the pressure is a bit low, and that's a complaint coming from the firefighters. And we would like to investigate and then be able to deal with it.
I heard you make a point our inability to douse the flames within the past 4 hours. Now, there's just one 10-table ladder that we've seen being deployed, and this one is just joining. Even this one's capacity, from what I can see, is not up to the one that we've been using all this while. That one seems more potent in fighting a fire. Is it really not a matter of...
I think it's just being prejudice the work they are doing. You've seen enough equipment here all this while. If they don't have, they will tell us they don't have. But that's what they have. And I have explained to you that the problem is the low pressure of water within the central business district. And that's to deal with it. But in terms of fire tenders here and the number of equipment to fight the fire, you can see that they have a lot here that they are using it. Sometimes you can see some even that they are idling. But when they run out of water, they have to go far at Circle or Alaju to restock and come back again. That 8 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes break, it's a problem. And that's why they are concerned about it.
Sir, two quick questions. First of all, do you have a confirmation of any casualty this morning? And then in your state as the assembly, to what extent are you hoping to go to assist the traders who have had their work?
Well, I attention that there's any casualty, because I've been here for the past almost 4 hours now. For us, we will our primary focus at the moment is to deal with the fire at the moment, save life and property, and then thereafter we'll investigate the cause and then reach out to the affected people and we'll find out what to do.
There are about 500 shops here. Are you?
Sorry?
There are over 500 shops here, according to people I know.
Over 500 shops?
Yes.
In this building?
Yes.
How can you count over 500? But how can you count it?
Also, just hearing of Accra, Mohammed Ni Ajesoa speak to me about his preliminary assessment of the situation and then what he's learned so far. So he makes a point that the low pressure in the hydrants here is what is causing the problem. But it's a very interesting angle to the issue, which has got to do with the traders themselves, in terms of, as it were, preparing to recoup their wares that are currently being burnt down. We do not know if the building itself is insured. We do not know also if the individual occupants of the various shops in the building have insured their shops. We do not know any of those. So we're just getting a bit closer to a few of the people here to speak to them. My boss, what's your name?
Raphael.
Okay, Raphael, do you work here?
No, I don't work here. I work at Pan African TV. I came to cover the story myself. But I've done a whole lot of investigations, talking to some of the people here. And I heard the honorable member saying it's not nothing to do with logistics, but that's not how it is. I mean,
so you're just hearing the fire tender. This, by my count, is the 11th fire tender that is arriving at the scene. And so by my count, this is the 11th fire tender that is arriving here. And then we're just trying to get a few of the people here to ask, Madam,
no, maybe fine, Moshe. And upon see the way it started. This small thing, there is no fire service around to come and take the. We even video it. This in the morning, this is what I video in my phone. Early in the morning. Just fire service here. They couldn't even come to rescue the people. See a lot of things that they don't have water. And they take us every taxes. We pay taxes. Everything that is taxes on this. And they'll collect the money from us. And they'll pay them every month. And they say they don't have no what. Every day they say we should fix ourselves. What's the country? And every day they say about everything, government. So you are the one work. They pay you every month. If the government doesn't pay you, go for demonstration. It's if your things are sport. Why is I don't tell the government that your things are sports?
And you're seeing a really agitated woman there. She says she came here to buy from the market. I just want to find a few of the people who actually own shops here, and I see them gather around the other point. But there's so much activity currently going on. In the shots behind me, you're seeing a human wall, really, that's being created by people who are passing by. And it's really difficult for people to find spaces to move out of this particular enclave. And now we are attempting to speak to, so I just got this lady to speak to her about whether or not she has a shop here. Madam, who shop wa hanum?
Mini shop wa mi to ande wa ha.
O to ande wa hanum?
Lane so.
Lane so. Na shops no nini na ase nini na ehyehe.
Say be shi. Because they have your fire service or mumma.
Fire service here.
Okay, I mean.
Must be a unfitai.
Okay.
I'm a generator say fire gen chon. You know.
I'm a generator say fire gen. Well, she's just making a point that they have a lot of generators in the
plants in Pony. I'm a fair me drama come na me na plant ke ma she kan light off e am be problem she still say then che am selfish because me never can on at least am fear me mind come am a plant ke ma she kan light off e am be problem she am fe almost generator to mo 10 can after 11 na me soon amenye cylinder ke gas wo maje na me hu onye hu ye store sam we be fine bad.
You just heard her narrate to me that there are so many generators in the building which of course contain fuel which are combustible, and that's making it difficult to douse the flame. She makes a point that, well, they could have gotten a power plant on standby by contributing their monies, the monies they use for the small generators. They would have contributed that to buy a power plant. I don't know how feasible that would have been. But now Okacha me say omonia manoni na ashishi wo inside o.
Ashi. Si say ye ba ho a. Yentimi yenya shinto ho na ashi. Ashi. Because e ho na eto ade. Because e ho a ye soru a obi hwehwe ade po na e kofa ma na e ho a. Bibia ashi.
And so she's just telling me that that is sort of the spot where they do all the wholesale purchases. All the retailing really are from wholesale shops in this particular building, which is today on fire. And for the past 4 hours, men and women from the Ghana National Fire Service, together with support from the army and the police service, have been attempting to douse the flames. And I see on this particular stretch a group of people who are sitting helplessly, and some of them look to me as though they have shops, and I'm just getting a bit close to speak to a few of them. And so you're seeing that the area has been cordoned off to create a perimeter for the officers of the fire service to be able to fight the fires. Abasses, but your shops gumana, my shops gum. Shop?
Yeah.
You have a shop in it?
Yeah.
What do you sell?
Mattress.
You sell mattresses. And how many mattresses did you have at the time the fire came?
Oh, about 75 pieces.
75 mattresses. Well, that's worth how much?
140, 200.
140,000.
140 Ghana, 200 Ghana.
So if you put it all together, how much wares do you have?
Oh, let's calculate it. Because item bed sheets and the blanket too.
But is your shop insured?
Yeah.
You've insured your shop?
No.
You don't have any insurance?
No.
So you don't have any hope of regaining the money you've lost?
No. I lost about 1,500.
I see, and accept, you know, my commiserations. Really, we're sorry that this is having to happen to you, madam. Also shop woman, I'm shop.
Yeah, no incident in India. As you told jeans when you auntie, you say around 9 when they Janet toss or a ketwebby by a tea and I shift from Ashiangasa because I'm out for Boca. Stores that was wrong, yes, stores a ketua and no mamma ton. They say, I'm out for Boca and Gasa, I'm for Boca, and a fire for us all my mantem. Fire for no man mantem crab because I'm a machine on the buy a year old one be so old one on my train man buy soldier for the buy no send no TN pump a costro no tema to me boy majano to me abras by shops in there Ashiangasa.
And so prominent reference is made to the fire service situation and the low pressure that the Honorable Mohammed Nia J. Soa just spoke to us about. These ladies are gathered here, and I'm just going to speak to them briefly about. Madam, do you have your things? Do you have your things in there?
You say what?
Do you have your things in there?
No. But I thought something. Where the fire is very large in here, BBO ni water fire service. Yeah, BNN neighbor. Nagbe ekedabi say no bedemi then the common on afi wo fe pom once come or be a fire service say sananga na cafe market that
and so you heard them say and really a lot of blame is being laid at the doorstep of the fire service, but as you heard, for them it's a matter of the pressure in the hydrants, which was not favorable for them. And over here we've seen an extension of the fire, just as it were extending to the back of the building. And this is what we're seeing. For the past 4 hours, the fire has been blazing all across this 3-story building, which houses in excess of 30 stores. And so we'll attempt to now get access to the main road again. We'll return to the main road and then bring you live pictures of what is happening there. Speak to a few of the traders who are having their wares actually.
And that's Manuel Cranton there at the Central Business District of Accra, where a 3-story building shop complex at the heart of the Accra Business District has been razed down by fire. It's been over 3 hours since the outbreak as the Ghana Fire Service deployed 11 tenders. Currently, we do know that the 12th one has been deployed. This is the first market fire in the second half of the year, with several outbreaks recorded in the first half of this year. Goods worth thousands of cedis have been lost. Let's now bring in the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph OBENG. He joins us via Zoom. We're so grateful, Doctor, he joined us. This is the first market fire in the second half of this year that we have recorded. What concerns have you on the increase in market fires recently?
We keep on losing our capitals through these fire outbreaks. This is not fair. We pay our taxes. We pay levies for the metropolitan authorities. Fire service is there to monitor some of these things. They don't even know that their hydrants is working. And it is a system, it's an institution. How are we controlling our institutions? This is not fair. This is not good. If you look at the proximity, it's so close. For us to, for this to have escalated to this level, what shall we do? It's an institutional problem. Because when whatever time we have these programs, we come out with ad hoc solutions. We don't have long-term solutions to this. And we have all these institutions taking all sorts of monies from us and levies. So this one, I don't blame anybody, any trader. I blame the institution, because we should have officers. When we are building a structure like this, we have officers from EPA, we have officers from fire service, and all these metropolitan assemblies and all that they are interested in is to get the monies, the levies that they are collecting from us. They don't provide regular supervision to provide advices and also to monitor equipment like fire hydrants and all that.
And of course, even as you make your submission, Doc, we do have our reporter Manuel Cranton on the ground. So as and when, we shall be going back to him on the ground. But Doc, one key matter, arising from this disaster is the fact that traders do not insure their shops. You're the president of GUTA. How serious is the matter of insurance for traders here in Accra?
No, it's not about they insuring their wares. It's about the insurance companies even taking the risk. When they come and when the place is so congested and all that, they don't have the appetite to insure shops like that, especially those in open areas where shops are clustered and all that. So that's why I've even suggested in the past that we should find a way that we should include insurance levies in the premises fees that we pay to AMA. And I've suggested, and I keep on suggesting, I'm waiting for a time that it will be accepted and then rolled on. So most of these people are there and then their money is gone down the drain, just like that. So this particular one, I'm not happy, because this thing keeps reoccurring and there's no solution in sight. And then one serious thing is that when it starts like this, then it keep on coming. If care is not taken, we hear from other areas also burning and all that. And we don't understand. So we should have an institutional framework that will protect as regarding the fire outbreaks in the market. That's very important that we should do. Otherwise, we lose all our capital to fire outbreaks.
Somewhere in the first quarter, in the first half of this year, we had the issue with that of the market, the Kaneshie market. You were there and you spoke about some collaborations, that must be, made between the AMA, the fire service, GUTA, and even that of the National Insurance Commission. Any updates on any collaboration so far?
I told you, when there are issues like this, people come and talk. They'll come to your studios and talk. And then when you want to pursue it as trade union like this, it doesn't go anywhere. They will promise us modern market premises and all that. Those are talks to calm down people's nerves during the periods like that. And when everything is settled, then we go back to our normal business. And so I think we have to set a committee, a permanent committee regarding fire outbreaks in our market, and find a permanent solution to this. And rather than these ad hoc solutions, it's not fair. Are we having an institutional breakdown or what? Because when you are building even premises, we have the EPA, we have the fire, we have the metropolitan authorities, all come to do inspection as to the how you have your exits and all that. So this thing should be continuous. So if you even come to market and these rules are being breached by the house occupants and all that, then you sanction them. We don't, after collecting the levies and all that, nothing of this nature is done. And we leave everything to go like this to bring problems reoccurring to us all this time. It's not fair. We have to find a permanent solution to this. I think as a matter of urgency, we have to set a committee, including all stakeholders, a permanent one at that, so that we can put this fire outbreak to we can put it at back.
Dr. Obeng, we're so grateful that you joined us. He's president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association. Key thing, he stated the need for an urgent committee to tackle matters of fire across Ghana's market centers. And of course, this is the aerial view that we're picking for you regarding the market fire some hours ago. Currently, we do know that the fire has to an extent been doused. The Accra Mayor has stated the fact that an assessment is going to be made to ensure that the cost involved, the losses to traders, be ascertained for a specific committee in disbursement of possible disbursement of funds be done. Also, our reporter Manuel Cranton has been speaking to some traders on the ground who have expressed frustration over the lackadaisical attitude, in their own words, by the Ghana National Fire Service in dousing the flames. They sent videos and pictures to show that it did not start this way. It started in a very small burst and emanated to large proportions, as we've seen on the screens currently. And the matter regarding insurance, of course, the National Insurance Commission has yet to respond to these matters, but it's quite clear the issue regarding risks in terms of the premiums and, of course, the access to these places being much more impediment for the NIC to embark on a massive insurance policy for market centers. The main reason why GUTA is calling for an urgent committee to deal with all these matters. So, of course, if you're just joining us, the story that we're breaking on your screen is the fact that the Makola market, specifically the Hong Kong complex, which houses several shops at the central business district of Accra, has been razed down by fire. It started early in the morning and has dragged through to this afternoon. We're talking thousands of cedis lost to this inferno. The fire service has deployed 12 fire tenders as at this particular moment to douse the flame, helping you understand the magnitude, the intensity of this disaster. And this isn't the very first time we're witnessing this. This is the first time, of course, in the second half of this year. The beginning of this year, we've seen series of market fires across the regional capital and other regions in the country. A situation GUTA says must be addressed urgently through the establishment of a committee involving stakeholders from the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, the Fire Service, the National Insurance Commission, and GUTA in that light. Well, if we could connect to Manuel Cranton to get you updates regarding what exactly is happening, we shall do so. But as said now, these are the aerial view, the bird's eye view that we could pick for you from the scene at the Central Business District of Accra. Terrible story for traders who've been affected by this. Terrible experience to those whose shops have been affected. Let's cross over to Manuel to help us understand the update so far regarding this disaster.
So
if you could hear me.
Charles, we're still on it, and for the past 4.5 hours or so, this fire has been blazing almost uncontrollably. While it's taking concerted efforts from the military, from the police, and then of course led by the personnel from the Ghana Fire Service to be able to bring it up until the level you are seeing in your shots now. Before now, the fire had been blazing in even bigger magnitude, and that was caused, we're told, by the sort of combustible materials that are contained in the building. And again, we're learning that a number of generator sets are contained in the building. And as it is characteristic of the shops here at Makola, when the lights, or if you like, electricity power is cut to the shops, they now use their generator sets. And this morning, we have learned that such of those incidents happened. There was a power cut to the building, and in an attempt to restart the power from the generator sets, there was a spark of fire. Now, just from where we're standing and the building that is on fire, we know that it's about 250 meters from the fire station at the Central Business District. The proximity, however, did not translate into immediate action and fighting of the fire. This, we are told, was because of low pressures in the hydrants within the area. And so they arrived, I'm talking about the first responders, the fire service, arrived at the scene and had to move away to go fill their tenders. The time between arriving and then having to drive to fill their tenders was what allowed the fire space to escalate into the magnitude that is now being fought for the past 4 hours. And some of the traders here who have been talking to us say that, in fact, they have really been bemoaning and decrying the sort of lateness, or if you like, call time that the first responders actually used to arrive here. And now we're seeing a really agitated gentleman who is now...
Why the minister's house is not burning? What are you telling me? Nobody should talk. What are you telling me? Take your time.
Can you relax and speak to us? So exactly what is your problem now?
And this is a really agitated gentleman who is fuming at the delay.
Please.
We all
understand. Yeah, we all understand. But they are working. And when you are doing like this,
the Ghana National Fire Service, what it is there?
Why the Ghana Fire Service will always tell us that there's no water in their company? Why?
You don't understand. You should come.
Why should you want me to understand? Let me understand that. Let me understand. Because the fire service is just here. The fire service is just here. We don't want the truth. We don't want the truth. We need to get off. We need to get off. You pay tax. You pay tax. I pay tax. I pay tax. I pay tax.
And that's what we're seeing, pandemonium here, as it were, the security officers attempting and this gentleman has in the past 10 minutes or so been ranting and expressing his rage and fury at the situation. Well, according to the officers from the fire service, this was actually a misunderstanding, and he doesn't appreciate the situation. And this is what has now escalated into a fisticuff, near fisticuff between the officer of the fire service and then the gentleman who has in the past 30 minutes or so been ranting and going on and on about the situation over here. Well, he says he pays tax and does not understand why the fire would have to be allowed to rage on for up to 4 hours. The clarity and clarification being provided by the fire service is that, well, this really has been out of their control, and they have been at their all-time best to be able to bring it under the, to bring it to the situation that we are currently seeing. Well, we've seen them use turntable ladders, we've seen them breach the building from the rear, we've seen them go underground in the basement of the building and so on and so forth to be able to deal with the fire. And what I see now is that the traders are cheering him on because for them he's expressing their sentiment. But we'll move away from here now and then bring you better pictures of what the fire now looks like. Well, at this point, from where I stand, I do not see any flame blazing. All I can see, though, is thick fumes and smoke emanating from the very top of the building. Or Charles, if you can hear me, this is the current situation at Makola here in Accra.
Minds of many. The cause of this particular outbreak, any update on the cause so far? You're with the fire service personnel there.
Well, Charles, the immediate cause of the fire, officially, we do not know. We've been told by the PRO of the Ghana National Fire Service, DO1 Ellis Robinson Oko, that they will present their preliminary assessment on the ground as and when they are able to bring the fire under control. But at this point, when you look up to the top of the building, the lintel is hanging on just by the thread of the iron rods that were used to build it. But for the iron rods, the lintel would have already fallen off, because from where we stand, we see the roof has been totally ruptured, and now the building sits there without a roof at the top. And just to the side, if we could just show you just to the side here, we can see remnants and debris of generator sets, just confirming to you the earlier narrative that we received from some of the traders here, that there are a lot of generator sets in the building. And that generator set, from what we can see, is totally bent to the ground.
One interesting thing about this whole disaster is the inefficiency of the Ghana National Fire Service to douse flames, occurring across, several high-rise buildings in the city. This is not the first time we've seen this for ourselves. The fact that they have mostly issues regarding the operational efficiency to douse flames of high-rise buildings across. I believe that most of them have been explaining to you the main movement moving forward of how to deal with this situation in the future, because Makola Market is widely known for most of these shop complex, and the fact that, such an inefficiency could cause more harm in the future.
Well, Charles, what we know is that the Ghana National Fire Service had rolled out a number of, as it were, programs and policies, and in fact regulations for folks to use. But I've just been joined by the PRO for the Ghana National Fire Service, DO1 Ellis Robinson Oko. Sir, just briefly, what have we learned so far in the past 4 hours since we started fighting the fire?
Yes, we had a distress call around 9:10 in the morning, and we have been able to use about 9 of our tenders and 1 from the armed forces to be able to bring this fire under control.
So currently, the confirmation is that it's under control?
Yes, it's under control. But you and I know that we have to attack the small fires in the various containers and shops around before we leave finally.
Okay, what do we know as the immediate cause, at least per your preliminary assessment?
We cannot establish any now, but then we have been informed that almost every shop here has a generator, and some eyewitnesses around are saying that it started from a generator. But then we don't want to rely on that to do our investigations to establish the cause of the fire.
Do we have a confirmation of any casualty this afternoon?
So far, we don't have any casualties.
Now, there are talks about the pressure in the hydrants here. We've learned that most of the hydrants within the central business district are low on water. This particular area is not new to raging fires.
It is true, but unfortunately, all the hydrants that we have in the central business district does not have the pressure required for firefighting. So we have to rely on Circle and other adjoining communities, and it's quite far from here. So that is one challenge that we are having.
But how is it that all the hydrants that we have are not up to the level to deal with fires?
It's very difficult for me to talk about. You and I know that we paid 1% of our water bill goes to water company. So maybe if water company officials are here, they can answer that for you.
Talk to us about the equipment that you've used this afternoon to fight the fire. We saw one 10-table ladder being deployed this afternoon. It seemed to be very efficient, in fact more efficient than the other tenders that you use. Is it just one that you have? Why didn't we deploy more than just one?
We have about 2 in the system. We have 2 in the system.
When you say 2 in the system, exactly what do you mean?
One is in Accra, one is in Tema. Okay. Yes. That is why we use the one in Accra.
So we have just 2 10-table ladders for fighting fire in the country?
Yes. Quite recently, we have information that some are coming. Yeah, so we are waiting for them.
As it stands now, is the situation distressing? So that, I mean, if you had more equipment, you would have been able to deal with the fire better.
As you can see, we have about 9 tenders here. The main challenge we are having is how to access the building. But now we have been able to do that. If you look up there, you can see some of the firemen attacking the fire from the seat of the fire. So we are on course.
But I mean, it appears that they would have been better served if some of the shops were actually open. Because from up top, the building sort of looks like it's caved in with a ceiling.
It is true that if the shops were open, it would have been easy for us. But you and I know, it's not everybody who stands here who is a good person. There are bad people around. And if you allow that, there will be looting and probably chaos here. Yes, that's why we are managing it in that way.
Now, talk to me about the positioning of such a structure here and the way that the shops have been demarcated. It appears the structure itself appears to be a problem.
The place is all.
And so we're moving away to get a bit more of updates from DO1 Ellis Robinson Oku. He is the public relations officer for the Ghana National Fire Service, just speaking to us with updates on the initial assessment.
Itself and where it is positioned. Is it a problem? Yes, sir, we're listening. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we're talking about the positioning of this particular structure here in the central business district. Is it a problem for you in terms of access or no?
I think that there's no proper access to the building. As you can see, there's only one entry and exit route to the place, and it's quite disturbing. Yes, I don't know how they were granted permits to build, but then we'll go into all that after the firefighting.
How soon should we expect investigations? How soon will the investigation come out? How soon?
As I speak to you, you can see some men up there. They are doing investigations.
Okay, and also when we spoke to some of the shop owners, they mentioned that a lot of them have generators. We counted about 4 or 5 on the 3rd floor.
I have personally observed that.
Yes.
I've personally observed that they have a lot. Almost every shop has a generator there.
Yes, and some are saying it could be the cause because there's petrol, there's hair.
That's the speculation, but I don't want to rely on hearsay. Let's do the proper professional work, and then we confirm what actually caused the fire.
And then finally, the presence of fire extinguishers, but then the people themselves were unable to use the fire extinguishers when the fire started, at a very, very small level.
I'm not aware of that. I've seen some extinguishers around, but after the investigation, we know why they were not able to. Probably they don't even know how to operate it. So we'll go into that and see how best we can educate the people on the ground.
And that's DO1 Ellis Robinson Oko, who has been reacting to the fire this afternoon and speaking to us about the extent of damage. He says that other subsequent investigations will be conducted. And so these are live pictures that we're bringing to you from the Makola market, which is currently the scene of fire. And this building is just 2 blocks away from the GCB Makola branch. So Charles, you heard DO1 Ellis Robinson Oko speak to us about what he has gathered so far and what subsequent investigations are going to reveal. Charles?
Well, so one telling part of his submission to you was the fact that they only have 2 high turntables under the Ghana National Fire Service in the entire country. And of course, the other part of his response to you regarding the causatives to this outbreak, the fact that investigations are currently underway to ascertain what exactly caused this fire. But how are they balancing their output to the frustration of the traders, Manuel?
Well, we heard him respond to say that he has gotten wind and indication of more gadgets now about to be delivered on to them. But as it stands now, just 2 turntable ladders they have in the entire country, one in Accra and then the other one in Tema. At this point though, I see both of them on the grounds. Both of them have been deployed to the grounds to help fight the fire. But you heard him admit that if there were more of those, it would have been easier to access the building and then douse the flame. But that is what we're dealing with. Just 2, one of them arrived earlier with the other quite later when the flames had blazed up all the shops in the building. And so for now though, there's no ambiguity about the fact that just 2 turntable ladders are in use in the country. And so these are live pictures from Makola Market. And then we're just getting closer to a few of the traders who own shops in here. Madam, do you have a shop in there?
Yeah, that's the first floor.
On the first floor?
Right there.
What do you sell?
Cosmetics.
You sell cosmetics. And what's the worth of goods that you have in there?
I can't put numbers. But
this is thousands of Ghana cedis.
It's millions and billions of cities.
I see. Now, you said the first floor. You should have seen it when the fire started. What did you do about that? Did you report or something?
Yes, I for once, when I came, it started from the top, on top of me. There was no fire here, and people couldn't do anything about it. So we started reaching out to the fire service department to come and help. As of 9/17, there was no fire department here, and the top floor was in gush of flame. So I think they got here around 9:20, 920-25-ish.
About thousands and really millions of Ghana cedis in there. Did you have insurance? Had you insured your goods?
Yeah, it's sad. No. Most of us don't have insurances on our properties here, because the insurance system, we don't even trust it. So no, we're not. No.
So what are you going to do now? All your words are bent down. What are you going to do?
I don't know. Now we are going to start from fresh. So we just thank God for our lives, and then I know that we are all going to start learning and taking good precautions from now onwards. So it's a lesson for everybody. So we all learning. So we're hoping to come back.
And accept our condolences really for your loss in there. She's mentioning thousands, if not millions, of Ghana cedis that have gone ablaze this afternoon, just explaining and expressing to us what she might have lost in the rubble, as we could see just right ahead of me. And this has been blazing for more than 4 hours. We are in our 5th hour since the fire started. And you heard her say that as of 9:17, there was no fire tender here. DO1 Ellis Robinson who confirms that there was a distress call at 9:10 a.m. And as I described to you, just about some 250 meters away from the scene of the fire, you have the Accra Central, if you like, the fire service station at the Central Business District. A delay was caused by the lack of water or access to water for the flames to be fought. But that's been the general picture. And so for now, though, I can confirm to you and just reiterate what DO1 Ellis Oko Robinson has been saying, that the fire has been brought under control and there is really no threat of it extending and escalating to affect other buildings. These are the pictures that we're bringing to you in our coverage of the Makola fires this afternoon. We've been here for the past 4 hours, bringing you live updates on the ground as we are getting them. So Charles, you've heard from some of the victims, you've heard from officialdom, and then you've also seen in description what remains of this 3-story building as sits in the middle of the Central Business District. Charles, if you can hear me.
Indeed, and not to also think about the massive losses to the traders affected by this disaster, not to mention about the issues regarding insurance. Of course, most of these shops we're seeing on our television screen are not insured, and issues regarding the high risk involved to the National Insurance Commission. They have declined to make a comment on this matter. GUTA, the Ghana Union of Traders Association, is calling for an emergency committee established to, deal with matters as we've seen on the screens once and for all. The president is calling for the establishment of this committee, which should include the National Insurance Commission to tackle the matters of insurance within Ghana's market centers. Also, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly to deal with issues regarding the demarcation of, shops and the safety of traders, against market fires, and even that of the Ghana National Fire Service. We've seen the vented frustrations from the part of traders who say that the response from the Ghana National Fire Service has been so slow and lackadaisical. Even though we've had a response to that from the Ghana National Fire Service, we have heard about the startling inefficiency regarding how they could douse flames across high-rise buildings in the country. Actually, just 2 high turntable materials, objects are being used by the Ghana National Fire Service to douse flames in Accra and Tamale. Currently, we have both objects being materials being used to douse the flames here at the Central Business District of Accra. So huge inefficiency, operational inefficiency on the part of the Ghana National Fire Service that GUTA is calling for an immediate resort to. We shall be giving you updates on this one as we have heard from all the sides that, played out in this massive disaster. A sad day for traders at the Central Business District of Accra. Well, we shall keep a close eye on developments here, especially as we await the final report from the fire service, which will help us understand what exactly caused the fire at the that's a Hong Kong shop complex in Accra. We shall be keeping a close eye on this one to give you updates as we also get in touch with authorities, the NIC, on the matter regarding insurance once and for all. But for those of us wondering the business mood at the central district of Accra, well, it's currently in a state of shock, currently in a state of chaos. Most traders have abandoned their shops to become spectators, onlookers of what exactly is happening as the National Fire Service douse the flames and ensure that safety is restored. Well, that has also been the extended version of the marketplace with me, Charles Aite. It has all been focused on what we're seeing on the screen there, the fire outbreak at Makola. We started in the late hours of the morning and has expanded till now. Issues regarding efficiency, issues regarding the non-availability of water, hydrants not being filled, causing the fire to escalate in the proportions we've seen in the screens. Thankfully, no casualties have been recorded, and we shall continue to give you an update on what exactly remains the outturn of this disaster in our subsequent bulletins. But yet again, I'm so grateful that you joined us for this live coverage of the market fire at Makola. And for more news, to log on to myjoyonline.com/business. I'm Charles Aite. Enjoy the rest of our programs.